Can you see me now?
You're sharing your screen? I don't see any other accounts. Okay.
Okay. So I just want to show you guys whatever I think is in the trunk right as of today. And I think pretty much whatever we discussed till last week, I think it's there in the trunk. And I see the square corners for everything now is made as a default, and these two things are swapped. The sites are now displayed in the bottom, and then the users, and also we have this nice icon for the logout, and also this icon for resetting the tool. So these are the basic things we discussed from past few weeks, and I think everything is there in the trunk by default as of today. So I just want to ask Vilma if you guys have any other inputs or any other usability testing done, and if you guys have any feedback on the current trunk.
We did some real quick feedback during the TNL call on the more icon versus having a number or the plus sign, and from the people on the call, it seemed like the majority of the folks liked more better than the number. Although some people did like the number, I think they were sort of in the minority. And they were concerned that if a user had a whole bunch of sites, like they have like 30-something sites, that maybe the number wouldn't be as useful, might be a little overwhelming. So the consensus on that call, I think, was that more was preferred. But that was really the only thing we had a chance to test.
Okay. More with two top-down sites.
Yeah, I showed them, actually, I can paste the link in. I showed them this image here that had kind of the three options. I just pasted the link in the chat. It showed them that, the number with the chevrons, the plus number with the chevrons, and more with the chevrons. And the majority of the folks on the call liked more.
Okay. Well, that's one more thing which last week's discussion, right? So, is there any other things which you want to discuss, or is there any other feedback on any other things?
So I'll just talk, and then others can jump in. I love what you've done. Absolutely love what you've done. There's just lots of little things. Just lots of little things at this point, and I've spent a lot of time with it narrowed down. And I think its behavior narrowed down is needs some work, right? But these are just details. And so, for example, as it narrows down, the more needs to move to the right, not to the left. Okay, the chevron, the more needs to be on the right, not the left. When it moves down, you end up with this stack of things on the left, right? When you make it small, you end up with like the hamburger icon, the more icon, and it doesn't work very well when you just have made your first thing. The other thing that happens when you click on more, let's see if I can get to my account that has more. It's like the more has a thing that slides out from the left, and then if you narrow it down, there is where are you? How come you've hidden from me? Don't go away, don't go away. I'm too narrow. Yeah, so what happens is if there's a thing that slides out from the left, and then there's another thing that slides out from the left. That seems to not work anymore. And then there are other situations where there's kind of a big black square because the site is not published. There's another problem where if you have just created an account and you only have a My Workspace, it's kind of weird and funky. I like the fact that the silver bar vanishes, but I also think we need some kind of an indicator on the home icon so you know that you're there, even if it's just a pressed thing. Because if you go to home and you look at it and you're in home, no, I mean upper left home. I mean upper left. Yeah, that one. I mean, and so we decided to move that up, and I love the moving up of that. But the problem is now you're kind of lost when you're in the home site. You've got no indication above you where you're at. You're just not there, right? Mm-hmm. And this might advocate, this might be, we move that home up, it might just need to be down, right? It might just need to be down on the left. And I know we did that. I know we went back and forth, but in this particular look, unless we have some way of indicating where you're at, it looks like you're everywhere and nowhere at the same time.
So just like instead of My Workspace in this thing, we'll just move this to down somewhere here.
Yeah. Everything old is new again, right? Or I don't know. I'm not saying that's the way to fix it. I'm just saying that I felt lost when I was in that spot.
And I mean, again, I think the discussion where if you move it down, then there's the two homes close to each other. That's one of the things.
Yeah, I think it doesn't look as bad now that we've got the university icon for home.
Yep.
That's true. I was thinking exactly the same. So that
yeah, okay. And then the other thing is if we push the chevron to the far right, if we push the more and chevron to the far right, and then we have home to the far left, and then logout drops down to, I love how logout in trunk, not in nightly, but in trunk, how logout drops down to a single thing. And I also think when there's a picture, you got to let the name go away, right? And show just the pictures. So I've got this thing where, I mean, yeah.
Like, do you want to share your stuff?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Why don't you hand it to me? I have no idea how this is going to work. Where is... let me pull over here. Let me do this.
I'll go ahead and... there you go. You have presenter permissions now.
Okay, so I can do that, right? Am I sharing my desktop? Chrome, no. Ha! Damn, Chrome. I'll be back. I'm slowly but surely just switching to Firefox. Okay.
Well, hopefully this thing should work with Chrome, but I don't know when. Hopefully Big Blue button will tell us the blindside stuff for folks.
Okay, now I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay.
yeah, perfect.
Okay, let me share away. Okay. Okay, so let's make this guy narrow, right? So if I make it narrow, which is about an iPhone, see this, I think this right here is supposed to be, well, slide out the tools list, but it seems not to. Okay, so that's nice to have on this side. And I guess that's the site list, but I would think that a great place to do would be to make the site list show up here, over there. And this could, I don't know, something, maybe home comes up here. So this is, it's sort of weird. The more sites ends up over on this right side. But then what I'm also saying is hide this name when we get small. I totally love how this turns into the logout button over here as we go small. Right, that is beauty, and I think this part needs to disappear too, and then this becomes the way to get to wherever. But then in one of my other versions, let's see if Chrome does it differently. Okay, let's get narrowing. Yeah, okay, so I like this, right? Because that's on the left. Although honestly, I really think we could get rid of that whole thing. When I go into modal dialogues and stuff like that, I mean, it just, but that, so I'm just, so that, wait a sec, that looks better. Like something slid out that caused something else to slide out. Yeah, okay. Oh, that's it. That's what I was worried about right here. When you slide out the hamburger icon, it slides out another thing. Right? So that seems kind of, slide that out, then to get more, you slide that out. That seems super counterintuitive. And so I might put home here, and I might put the more over here, right? And so make it so that what we see in more, this guy right here, slides out from this side. It always slides out from this side, and when we go small, this is the same icon, whether it's chevron or whatever. If we have more sites in chevron, which is what Wilma was showing, if this becomes more sites in chevron, I would hike it over to the side here, and then it, as we go down, see how the plus started coming? As it gets smaller, the chevron sort of collapses down to pure chevron here. This is open close here, and this is home up here, like that. And this face, the face becomes the only thing. And there was some vertical space that got better. So I had some complaints about vertical space, but they got better, I think, in the morning, Eduardo's morning commit. So that morning commit made things a lot better. Okay? So does that all make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, the point is we're so dang close right now, right? What we've got, to me, is just gorgeous. You know, and the rest of, I mean, it's just, we're in small details now. Like, I don't know how this +1 shows up right there. Oh, wait, and then more sites. Oh, I know, that's because we've lost one. But we still have more. Oh, I see. Yeah, we just, whatever this is, it's got to be the one that's dynamic. And so as soon as it goes away, as soon as it should show everything. It should show as much as it can, ignoring the more sites concept. And then when there is too much to show, there should be a chevron. So that's why this is kind of funky, and it does that. I think that's a bad gesture as well, right? But I'm sure that's what your plan was. You just haven't fully implemented it yet. So there's only one gesture, right? The more sites doesn't show up at all. You put as much as you can. You put as much as from this list that's not there, and then when you can't fit, chevron appears, and then chevron stays when you take it all away. And then that's really quite beautiful because this is the title of where you're at in the middle. The chevron is I want to see a different site. This is left is I want to see the tools in this site, and that would be go home. Oh no, wait a sec. No, that would just be Sakai up there then.
Actually, I kind of like keeping that home up in the top.
Yeah, exactly. But Wilma, I'm with you on. I mean, I go around and around. We've gone both places, but we need some way to indicate I'm home, right?
Could that icon either change color, maybe the background of it change color when you're home instead of moving
Kind of
it?
like what I'm seeing right there, right, where I've got it depressed.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm open, right? I don't have a strong opinion on that.
I kind of like having it separated from the tool menu of the site.
I do too.
I'd prefer to see it on top for that reason.
Especially if we get to the point where we can sort of resize by dragging and dropping these little things. Home's not resizable, right?
Right. And you don't want to hide it. It's always got to be there. So it's a different item.
Right. I like that. Yep. So I think that's fine. I think that home can go up here. We'll come up with some way of indicating you're in home, right? That's fine. And then chevron will go from chevron with no number, and then we'll test some more. Chevron will collapse down to here. Chevron will appear. More sites won't just be there because of the number anymore. We'll try to take all the sites and put them up there, and if you go super wide, then you'll get all your sites, and you'll use up all that space no matter what, and then chevron appears when you run out of space, and for a while chevron is there, and then at some point it's only chevron. This is the coolest thing ever. Oh, and then I also remember I want to put a swipe on this. I want to put a swipe on this. I want to swipe from right to left to effectively be the same as chevron. And then here, I want to swipe from left, swipe this way to do that. Swipe. And then swipe. So I want to be able to swipe, and that's why I want this to slide out from the right instead of the left. So that I can sit there, we can sit there in a demo and go watch this on our iPad and go swipe left, swipe right, and these things come out from the sides. Eduardo, I hope, and Uday, I hope we're not like overheating you with all this wonderful suggestion stuff.
No. Really not.
Let me test something really quick. Oh. By the way, I like this icon. Oh, crap, I broke lessons. I was fooling around with modal dialogues and lessons this morning. So I broke it. Never mind. Okay, I'm done.
Okay.
I'll give back presenter. Oh, look at that look at that. That's a little squiggly 3. Oh, no, that's not. Oh, that's just, no, sorry, that's just the icon. I was reading JavaScript code. Never mind. Okay, I'll give back presenter to So have Chuck H or Jeff P showed up yet?
I don't see them on the list. Jeff Pash did send a JIRA along he would like the group to look at, so I'll paste that in.
Yeah, I was looking at that JIRA, and I thought we already agreed ferociously that that was a super good idea. Together, we already agreed that we're going to fix that, and I don't think they're disagreeing. Oh wait, there's a pull request for it. Oh, there's already a pull request for it. So I guess that means that people want it to happen.
Cool.
I mean, so the answer I think on this one is yes. And so I'm going to take a quick look at this, and then I'm just going to pop this in, and unless it looks like Matthew wants to pull it in. But I'll pull it in. Okay, I'll test this and I'll pull it. We don't need to discuss it. If we don't like it after it's in, we'll just tweak it.
So Jeff had some other things he wanted to discuss, but I think they were more on the icons stuff.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
Yeah. So Jeff is using Icon Moon for NYU, and so what I don't understand is just in my playing with all this software over the last couple of weeks, it feels to me as though Icon Moon is what was cool a year ago, and Font Awesome is what's cool now. And Font Awesome is Icon Moon has lots of icons, and Font Awesome has 3 times as many icons. And there's nothing wrong with Icon Moon. And we could certainly use we could add Icon Moon in, and we could make it so that tools in CSS could choose Icon Moon fonts as easily as they could, icons as easily as they would choose Font Awesome icons. But I don't know what the consequences of that would be. For example, can you make Icon Moon fonts all change color at the same time? Probably you could, right? Because you'd put that in your FA tag or your icon tag, and you just change the color of the thingy, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I think the question is, I wouldn't want to try to make a picker for either like LTI tools or web tools or CK editor that also picked Icon Moon fonts. Not that you can't make such a thing, and so I'd like to think that our standard stuff is when in doubt, use Font Awesome. But if you got this super urge to use Icon Moon, why not, right? But it would have to be in CSS at that point rather than in a picker. What was my thoughts? Unless the answer is someone knows that Icon Moon is totally superseded by Font Awesome, and it's unlikely to find a font in Icon Moon that's not already in Font Awesome.
No, I don't think either. And also one more thing, just to mention that you can add any extra icons which you feel you need that into the Font Awesome existing set. So you can customize your fonts and then build it into the existing Font Awesome library which you are using.
So you're saying we could put all the Icon Moon fonts into our version of Font Awesome?
Yeah, you could. And if you want to. I mean, I don't think we need everything because there are so many duplicates, obviously, but if at all we think there is some icon which is really, really nice, and we definitely need that, we could just incorporate that into Font Awesome.
Is there a place in the Font Awesome strategy where you pick the content number to stay out of everyone else's way? The extension, the weird extension place, like, oh, only pick numbers that start with 7 or something like that.
I don't know, but there are font awesome customizations which I know of. But I don't know.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to, pick a content number and then have the new version of Font Awesome come out and overwrite that number, right?
No, yeah.
And the other thing is if you just, stick the icon moon font as a font name, then you do like FA and then FA dash anchor, and then you have if you want icon moon font, you just say I am dash airplane, right? And if you're right, if we really had a super need to change the Font Awesome, we could, and then it would be available to all of the pickers that we've got. I mean, I don't know if you saw, but there's already a Font Awesome picker in there's already a Font Awesome picker in CK Editor in trunk right now.
I think what font awesome supports is basically you create your own CSS and SVGs and all the font files and put it as a custom file inside the SAS model of their structure. And then you have to pick your name for the icons or whatever you want to. But yeah, if also they come up with a similar thing, then I don't think we need to use the custom thing. Yeah, we have to see how exactly the customization works.
I have a question. How are we doing on tools and responsive design on individual tools?
I don't know if there is any major issues so far reported on the tools itself, and I think we'll definitely have some issues, but we haven't tested yet, so we haven't known anything major so far. That I believe will be getting more in testing phase, I guess.
Oh, hi, Jeff.
Hi there.
We were just talking a little bit about Font Awesome and Icon Moon or Icon Moon.
Cool. Yeah, so that's like I said, chatting with Mark and Peyton, the Australians, aka the Australians. That's where I think actually they think Riley actually got some various ones from there, and I think they've pulled some from there as well. But I included them on that email chain so they can answer any specific questions on them.
Sorry about that. Mute myself. Not sure what you mean, Alex, about the flat design being outdated.
Yeah, the problem is we don't have colorful fonts like we did with Silk, right? You can't have a font that the letter T where the top part of the T is red and the vertical part of the T is blue, right? If you're going to fonts for icons, they're all monochrome. They're not black, but they're monochrome, and that's sort of disappointing. And what Alex was saying is like, that's the current sort of trend, is one monochrome. That's the hip trend right now, and you know, in 2 years, we'll be like, whoa, this is terrible. And we'll go back to SVGs or something, right? And I think Alex is exactly right in that, you know, these kinds of things that we do, it's not surprising that we redo this exercise over and over and over again, right? Because this is a way for a product to seem fresh. And so we'll go with these monochrome icons for 2 years, and then we'll be tired of them, and then there'll be some other, you know, colorful font awesome 3 SVG, and then we'll be like, oh crap, we got to redo everything and use super color font awesome SVG 3. And by then it'll be easy. We'll just be downloading CK editor plugins and pickers and stuff, and it'll just work. And so that the key is you just sort of, you follow the crowd on the style thing. And I think, Louisa, you're absolutely right. I do think we need a little bit of work on, I mean, we've been working so much on mechanics of this markup. You know, I think that the default skin can be a lot prettier. And I think a subtle, non-pure black and white on the fonts, I think we will like them better if we throw a little artisticness at the default colors. Like you can make a navy for, you know, and I don't even like the super black, you know, frame background, right? I like the framing of everything, but it doesn't have to be black. You know, people can experiment with what these colors, the default colors are. So the colors of the icons, the colors of the background, I think there is space to improve it artistically. But first we got to get the markup to work. I don't know, Luis, if that answered your question. Oh. Yep. And you'll notice even in that Polymer site, they changed the color of the selected item to be bluish, but everything is still monochrome, right? And so each icon can get different colors. I really think this is a very pretty, and 2 years from now, if we're doing this again, we'll be doing Polymer everywhere, right? We'll be doing Polymer, and we'll be changing how we tag our stuff, right? Yeah, right? So this is just whatever the current hipster trend is, we're just going to do it. Sakai 12, right, Alex? You're exactly right. And then we'll be like, wow, new Polymer-based UI, which is industry leading trend of, right. And you can't have just one trend, you know, you can't have just one trend. Yeah, all the kids in college, all these master's degree experts who are UI experts at University of Michigan, they're like Polymer, Polymer, Polymer. It's like, that'll be the next thing. And it'll be a good thing. But right now, Font Awesome is the hipster trend. But yeah, that I love that Polymer link.
Yeah.
That is just really pretty. That's a pretty layout, color, spacing, font. Oh, it just hung my browser.
Sean has a question. Which,
why don't we just give you a moderator, Sean? Just show us.
no thanks.
Well, no. I'm log in as instructor. Close all tabs.
Share my screen. How do you share region? Let's see. Thanks, Louisa. My screen's not sharing. Try again. Let's see, okay. Move this over here. So what are the issues that you're seeing, Sean? You said in sites? Top right corner around the logout button. Hit your access view. Roll switch. And +5 over. Yeah.
Yeah, Sean, that's fixed in trunk. Sean, that didn't make 3 in the morning last night, but it made 9 in the morning this morning. So, yep, saw that right away. If you run your own, yep, no, that's what we need to hear, right? No. Yeah, and that +5 actually has moved since. I mean, if you want to give me, I mean, you saw me doing it, Sean, and you would have seen those things messed up. Although the interesting thing is I'm not sure I know where access view is anymore on trunk. If you give it back to me, Neil, I've got an absolute trunk running. That's what I'm running right now.
Got it.
Coming back. And so I don't know where view as. I don't know where view as works. So on mine right here, so you'll see, Sean, that so that the view as isn't up there anymore, but it's nowhere. Oh wait, it's down here. Oh yeah, I didn't even see that. Eduardo sneaks it over to the left. So see where it is, Sean? So it's over there, which we talked about last week. I didn't even notice that. So it's there. I kept looking for it up here, but here it is. Enter access view, exit access view. Nice baby. We probably want to make an icon on the exit access view. Holy crap, that looks really nice. And the +1, Sean, is gone, except kind of it sort of appears briefly right then, but we're going to sort of change how that behaves because it's kind of a little jumpy when you're resizing. But access view got moved to the left at 9 o'clock this morning, but not at 3 a.m. last night. Okay. What's the orange? There's something styled differently, and it probably isn't perfect. So that looking at the access view, it's supposed to be better than that, right? I'm sure something was supposed to all turn orange at the top or something, so that you know you're in access view, but it's not. Something's not doing something, right? So that's just a little markup glitchy thing, but it's supposed to be some kind of a communication that tells you you're in excess of you. It changed the styling. Yeah.
That's neat.
Yeah. It's neat and is not finished, but you see what it's trying to do. Yeah. So it just needs to, I'm sure there's some little bit of, some class on some little bit of stuff that, you know, in some little class that's missing on some part of it. And that's just a glitch in the matrix temporarily. Okay, I'll give back Sharon. And I think what we're doing here, Sean, is just what we should be doing, because we don't need to file JIRAs on these things because the turnaround is so fast. We should come here on Wednesdays and, you know, test it on Wednesday morning and find the obvious, totally wrong things and just mention it here, and then, you know, get her fixed by next Wednesday. And because they're not really, yep, well, you could.
Yeah, Jeff, we talked about that one. Dr. Chuck is going to.
We're just going to merge it. Jeff, are you like concerned somehow? Are you negative on this, or are you positive on this?
Oh no, I think it's awesome.
Okay.
Adam had asked me about it to see if you know, he said, did NYU implement this at one point? And I said no, and he said, oh well, we're doing it. And I said, oh, are you on the Morpheus call? He said no. He said, well, why don't you mention it?
Yeah, I think we talked about this on a Morpheus call 2 weeks ago, actually.
We did. Yeah, we did. And he did it, and it's awesome.
Sam Otnoff doesn't know what left hand. It is so rare that I get to inform Sam Otnoff of anything. So I'm going to take my advantage of it. So it's good. Looks like Matthew's been reviewing it, cleaning it up, so I think it's ready to merge.
So what are the top areas that are left? Is it just sort of continually kind of, you know, doing this UX stuff and looking at things and kind of informal, or are there any major areas that we need attention?
So my theory is that, you know, if what we've got left are more in the category of glitches, and I think that, you know, we're a couple of weeks away of having something that's pretty nice. You know, where it'll be bugs rather than glitches, and it will be almost glitch free.
So we should demo this to the community pretty soon. Do we want to set up like a webinar or something and get a broader interest going?
Yeah, I would say 2 weeks from Wednesday. I mean, 2 weeks from right now. I think we would like one more week. I mean, it's really up to Eduardo and Udaya as to their timing. You know.
Yeah, I would want to wait till next week and decide on when we want to do this presentation.
Okay.
Yes. So I think that if we just kind of clean up the glitchy bits that we've identified here, which probably Eduardo and Udaya already knew about because they do the same thing we do of resizing stuff and watching it happen. I think that we'll see something next week that's pretty polished. And the week after that, you know, maybe on the Monday of the week after that. So that's like a week and a half from right now, a demo for the community.
Okay, well, we'll check back in next week and see where things are, and then schedule a demo. And it's nice to give people, you know, a little bit of advance notice. But that sounds cool. We could either do maybe a standard either at 11 a.m. Wednesday one, and just make one of these Morpheus meetings, just advertise the heck out of it a bit, you know, and then get more attention and make it some other time that will work well for the community. A lot of that, there's an Apereo events thing that's usually on Wednesdays at noon Eastern. I'm not sure if that's the best time, but. Are there other cool places that we could implement the swiping stuff?
I think it's probably dangerous to do too much with the swiping because you don't want it to have unintended consequences. So, and the danger of certain swipes, like a swipe to go home, you could actually lose work in progress, and you don't want to swipe to ever. You don't want to. You don't want to swipe in a way that you've lost something and you can't unswipe. So you got to be real careful about doing too many swipes. And the up-down swipe is always scrolling. It's the left, and what you're probably helping. It might get troublesome because a left to right swipe, a right to left swipe has sort of no meaning unless you are. But a left to right swipe often means back. And then if you've gone back, a right to left swipe means forward. And so you got to be careful not to, and we might even decide once we get that swiping working that we do not want a left to right swipe at all unless we've done the right to left swipe that pulls out the more sites, and then we get rid of that with a left swipe, left to right swipe. So that's something to be studied, right?
Right.
Hey, Sean, on the sliding thing, I want the sliding. Are you talking about when we're resizing? Oh. Yeah, I agree. And I don't like the animation during resizing. I've never seen a responsive design that tries to be sexy while resizing. At least not for navigation elements that are coming and going.
Well, the other thing that seems like, as we think about smaller devices, I guess, and we've talked about it a little bit, is drag and drop. So maybe drag and drop is more, there will be a lot of benefit.
Yeah.
Like I can imagine drag and drop reordering menu items for a site, for example, would be real.
Well, once we're done with all this glitchy stuff, we'll start talking about that. Because that'll be a little more than just pushing the markup around. Oh, Jeff, you like that icon? Not everyone you can talk.
It's great.
Yeah. We talked about it 2 weeks ago. I love it.
Yeah, it's great. I think it gets the point across. One thing that we the reset tool, when Mark did his initial usability testing, that came up because people said, oh, I could click this, but I'm afraid I'm going to lose my data because it says reset. So we landed on return to tool home, which we thought got the idea across. Like I'm going back to the beginning of the tool sort of thing without sort of resetting and the implications of that. So I just didn't know what people thought about that.
You're talking about the hover text.
Yes. Yeah. The
I
tool
agree.
for hover text. Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
Sweet.
Is there any more to talk about today?
I'm just so excited. This is so awesome.
It is. It is really awesome.
It could be the 3 cups of coffee I had, but I'm just bouncing in my chair. I'm so excited.
I had 3 cups of coffee, and I'm bouncing 2 because of this meeting.
Yeah.
No, I mean it's really. I mean it's fun when the turnaround is so quick and ideas, and then and we can try something, and then you didn't run out of resources just because you tried something. I mean, I think we're going to want to put some effort in a couple weeks to make this pretty, get the pick colors right. That I think there's a lot of potential to make it really a lot sexier to roll out a slightly different color scheme than what we've got.
I have a separate but related question for Uday.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So a couple of weeks ago, we had that meeting with Express Labs about contributing some CSS into the core Morpheus, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I don't remember if you were copied. They did some work recently. I'm not sure if it was just on the lesson stuff, but I think have they gotten back with you directly?
No, not yet. I only got whatever you sent to me, like a zip file.
Okay. They sent something out recently, which I've shared with Chuck Severance and Chuck Hedrick and a few others. I'll send it to you, and you can take a look at it.
Okay.
All right. Well, it seems like maybe it's a good time to wrap up the call. It's almost noon.
Yeah, thanks everyone. Looking good. Cheers from Spain.
Thank you.
Thanks. I'll stop the recording now.